Hi everybody, Alex Deploy here from Expert Forex, and in today's video I want to try and dispel all the questions that you have about time adjustments, such as should I be using my local time, my broker's time, or the time that my EA settings have been created for trading. And I'll show you how to adjust between those particular times. So stay tuned. Now these days many EAs come with time and day adjustments. Now that is because a lot of EAs perform better in, let's say, the UK morning session or the US morning session, or maybe just both of them, the morning session of the UK plus the morning session of the US session. So many traders want to limit the EAs to only open trades in those particular areas or those particular times. And the normal EA allows you to set those times. But what if your friend in the US and you based in London has a fantastic setting for his EA and he is getting magnificent results and he sends those settings across to you? Now, depending on the broker he's using, the location of the broker's server, the location of his PC, your PC, there could be all kinds of adjustments required to make those fantastic settings that he is using work on your PC. So let's explore this in a little bit more detail. The first important piece of information that you need is to locate your broker's server time. That's quite important. Now, it is not where your broker's offices are located. You find your broker's server time by opening the Market Watch in your MT4 platform, as shown on the screen. That will show you the exact server time. The other bit of information that you need is what is the GMT time right at the moment that you are looking at your server time. Now let's do that exercise, and it's very easy to find the GMT time because we just asked Mr. Google. So all you do is you type GMT now. Into your Google search, and it will immediately come up with the Google time right now. Now, as you can see, it's about 1:45. It is 11:40 p.m. And if you want to convert that to 24-hour basis, you just add 12 hours to the 11 and you'll get an answer of 23:46. So that's how you get the GMT time. Now, why is that important? It's important because most settings are related to GMT. So your friend in the US might have particular settings related to GMT. Your broker might have a server related to GMT. So GMT is the reference point. Now, in this case, our broker server and GMT are aligned. So if you are using settings that are GMT settings or created using a server or data using a GMT basis, those are aligned and you do not need to make any adjustments. But let's just say it was 2 hours earlier and the GMT time is no longer 23:50 by now. It is 21:50, so 2 hours earlier. So now there's a misalignment between GMT and our broker. Our broker is 23:50 and the GMT is 21:50. So how do we cater for that? Now let's just do a basic maths. If our broker is 23:50 and GMT is 21:50, you have to add 2 hours to the 21:50 to get to 23:50. So our broker server is at GMT plus 2. So if we are using our broker time to trade settings that were created in GMT, we have to add 2 hours to those particular settings. So the shortcut in this particular situation is if those if that 8 and that 13 was based on GMT, all you have to do is add 2 hours to that particular setting, and there you are. You are now you're aligned. The settings that have been supplied to you, which are GMT, are now aligned to your broker server. So that's the shortcut method of adjusting for GMT. Now, when using one of the expert Forex EAs, there are certain choices that you can make, and I'll just go through them. Firstly, the reference time in the EA can be set, and I'll just look. It can be set either to the broker time, to your PC time, or GMT time. So if you want to get less confused and your settings are based on GMT time, you would select GMT time. If your broker is GMT, then you don't have a problem. You can also select that. And your PC time, I would suggest don't ever select that, because your PC could be anywhere in the world. You could be traveling and your PC could be adjusting its time all the time, so don't use that. Rather focus on the difference between broker time and GMT. Now, if you do select GMT, there's a little message at the back that says set GMT offset below. So we're going to select GMT, and then the next setting says GMT offset. So all we do is we go into that setting. We know that our offset was GMT +2. So we click on there, and now we have that. So our settings that our friends supplied us that were GMT, we can now set back to where they were, because the EA will automatically take those settings and apply a GMT +2 adjustment to them when using these GMT based settings. So bits of information that you really need is, when you are using a set file, you need to know in relation to GMT when those settings were created, if you want to use that particular EA setting. Then what you need to know is what your broker server time is in relation to GMT, so that you can then adjust the settings accordingly. You can use the shortcut method, as I've shown you. You literally just go and change the settings in the settings that you've been supplied, or you use the settings in the EA as an alternative. So these time adjustments can be confusing, and sometimes you can look at it and find a different answer, and then look at it again and find a different answer the next day. But I think it's important to practice your adjustments to the point that you are very confident to convert times from most broker server times to any times when your set files will be created. Most set files are created between GMT and GMT +3. Those are the general times that brokers have for their servers. So you will never have a huge adjustment. And the question is normally, is it GMT +1, GMT +2, and GMT +3? Also, please bear in mind these adjustments change for daylight savings, whether you in the southern hemisphere or the northern hemisphere, and which countries you are in. Your broker might change their server times. So always be very wary about the times when daylight saving adjustments get made. You might have to even adjust twice for those kind of events. So I hope you found this helpful and interesting. If you've liked this video, please like it. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to the channel. If you have subscribed to the channel, please click on the bell so that you're notified of any new videos. And then from me, Alex Deploy, cheerio.